record.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Our teams, I am Siti Aziza, Ms. Sri Nur Hayati, and Ms. Lasmi Febrianingrum. We talk about government policy in language pedagogy, curriculums, materials, delivery assessments, and teachers' professionalism. Okay, let's talk about language curriculums. Language curriculums refers to the overall plan or program for teachings and learning language. It outlines the goals, objective, contents, and method to be used in language instruction. A well-designed curriculum ensures that learners are exposed to a comprehensive range of language, skill, and knowledge. Okay, let's talk about the implementation of the curriculum in Indonesia that has undergone several significant changes and reforms over the years. And the first is pre-independence. There are two in pre-independence, that colonial era and Japanese occupation. And the post-independent is curriculums 1968, curriculums 1975, curriculums 1984, curriculums 1994, curriculum 2004, curriculum 2013 ya, and reasons development, that is curriculum Merdeka Belajar. And let me talk about curriculum Merdeka Belajar. It aims to provide greater autonomy for school and teachers in curriculum implementation. It emphasizes student-centered learnings, project-based learning, and the use of technology. And the implementation of English in the curriculum Merdeka Belajar, first in English in elementary school. Start with the early exposure. English is introduced as a subject from the early grade, typically starting in grade 1 or 2. Integrating learnings, English is integrated into other subjects such as science and social studies to promote contextualized learnings. And focus on communication, the curriculum emphasizes communicative competence, enabling students to use English for real-world purposes. Authentic materials is the use of authentic materials such as children's books, songs, and videos is encouraged to expose students to natural English. Next, the implementation of English in the curriculum Merdeka Belajar in secondary schools. Is expanded curriculum. English is taught as a core subject throughout secondary schools with a focus on developing proficiency in all 4 language skills. They are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Project-based learning, English language learning is often integrated into project-based learning activities, allowing students to apply their knowledge and skills in real-world context. Preparation for higher education, the curriculum aims to prepare students for further studies and careers that require English proficiency. Next, the implementation of English in the curriculum Merdeka Belajar in higher education. Specialized English programs in university or higher education offer a variety of English language programs, including English language teachings or ELT, English literature, and English for specific purposes or ESP. Research and academic writing, English is a crucial tool for academic research and writing, and university programs emphasize the development of these skills. Global connections, English language program often include opportunities for international exchange and collaborations, fostering global perspectives and intercultural communication. Next, key features of English in curriculum Merdeka Belajar. Student-centered learnings that the curriculum emphasize active learnings, participation, and critical thinking. Authentic materials, the use of authentic material is encouraged to expose students to real-world English. And next, integrated learning. English is integrated into other subjects to promote contextualized learnings. Project-based learning, students are encouraged to apply their English skill in real-world projects. And the last is the global perspective. The curriculum aims to develop student global awareness and intercultural understanding. Overall, the implementation of English in curriculum Merdeka Belajar aims to equip students with the English language skills necessary for success in the 21st century. And now let's talk about the materials. The choice of materials depends on some factors, including the specific course or programs. Different courses may have different requirements for English materials. The level of English proficiency of the students, materials should be appropriate for the students' language level. And the teaching objective, the materials should align with the course objective and goals. The preferences of the instructors may have personal preferences for certain types of materials. Next slide. The implementation of English material in curriculum Merdeka Belajar. We start with in elementary school, that integrated English, that English is often integrated into other subjects such as science and social studies to promote contextualized learning and language use in real-world situations. Authentic materials, a variety of authentic material, including children literatures, songs, and videos, are used to expose students to natural English. Interactive activities, engaging activities such as games, role plays, and projects are used to foster language learning and creativity. Technology integrations, digital resources such as online games, apps, interactive textbooks are incorporated into English language teachings. Next, materials in secondary school. Is it the core textbook? Schools typically use core textbook that align with the national curriculum and provide a structured approach to language learnings. The second, supplementary materials, a wide range of supplementary materials, including workbooks, grammar guide, and practice as exercises are used to reinforce learnings. Authentic materials also that authentic materials such as new articles, short stories, and films are used to expose students to real-world English and develop their language skills. And the last, project-based learnings. English language learning is often integrated into project-based learning activities that allow students to apply their knowledge and skill in meaningful contexts. Well, English materials in higher education, English materials in higher education refer to the resources and tools used to teach and learn the English language at the university level. And these materials can vary widely in terms of format, contents, and purpose. But they all share the goal of helping students to develop their English language skills. A common type of English materials in higher education include textbook, traditional textbook, provide a comprehensive overview of English grammar, vocabulary, and usage. They often include exercises and activities to reinforce learning. The second is anthologies. The collection are literary works such as poetry, short stories, or plays are used to expose students to different genres and styles of writing. Supplementary material, this include workbook, grammar guide, dictionaries, and other resources that can be used to supplement textbook instruction. And digital resources, online resources such as e-book, language learning apps, and interactive exercises are becoming increasingly popular in higher education. And the last is authentic materials. Real world material like new articles, songs, and movies can help students develop their readings, and speaking skills in a more authentic context. And the new slide will be delivered by Ma'am Sri Nurhayati.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, the delivery. Here I will talk about delivery. Delivery is how a policy is implemented or executed to achieve the desired outcomes in language education. Or in another word, it is how languages are taught. The delivery of English language instruction, however, varies from different educational level and region due to factors like infrastructure, teacher qualification, and socio-economic condition. Challenges implementation in delivery here is the teacher competency, class sizes, and also resources. Okay, next. The first way how to deliver the English language here is traditional classroom model, where we know that traditional classroom model here we have grammar translation method and teacher-centered approach, while the grammar translation method focus on reading and writing with less emphasis on speaking and listening skill. Teacher-centered approach, central authority in the classroom is the teacher. Okay, that's a traditional classroom model. Next, please, ma'am. The second one is communicative language teaching, which focus on two things. Focus on communication skill. It encourages students to engage in speaking, listening, and using the language in practical context. This approach is increasingly adopted in urban school, private institution, and by teacher trained in more modern pedagogy. The second one is interactive activities. Interactive activities, the delivery under communicative language teaching involve activities like role playing, group discussion, dialogues, and problem solving tasks. This model helps students develop fluency and confidence in using English. The next one is task-based language teaching. Task-based language teaching, we have 2 points here, the learning through tasks and then the learner-centered. The learning through tasks here focuses on using language as a tool to complete meaningful tasks. The goal is to use English in real-world situation. Yeah, which can include activities like completing projects, solving real-life problems, and conducting research. While the second phase is learner centered, different with grammar traditional one, which focus on teacher centered. Okay, the next is blended learning model. Okay, next one. Blended learning model here. The characteristic is combining online and offline learning, focuses on using language as a tool to complete meaningful tasks. Yeah. And then the second one, the use of technology, where students are encouraged to use English independently to achieve specific tasks. And the last one is flipped classroom approach. Student here in flipped classroom approach, students are asked to watch videos, complete exercises, or read material before the class online. it is done online, and then use class time for discussions, practice, and clarifications with the teacher. Okay, the next delivery form is project-based learning. Project-based learning consists of two characteristics. The first one is real-world application. This model involves collaboration, research, and presentation, helping students develop practical language skill. Project-based learning allows students to work on long-term projects where they use English as the primary language of communication. And then the second one is active learning. This active project-based learning emphasizes both the content of the subject and the language itself. The students play an active role in their learning by choosing topics, conducting research, and presenting their findings in the classroom. Okay, next, please, ma'am. Distance and online learning. Distance and online learning is emerged when we have, what is that, COVID-19. Yeah, the characteristic of distance and online learning is remote learning and self-paced learning. Remote learning here means the model uses platforms like Google Meet, Zoom, and Moodle to deliver lessons remotely, which has been immediately useful for reaching students in remote areas where we cannot go anywhere at that time. Yeah, so we stay at our houses, but we still learning something. And then the second characteristic is self-paced learning. Self-paced learning, some students also engage in self-paced learning through massive open online courses or English language application, which supplement formal education. This model gives students flexibility, but also requires self-discipline and motivation. Okay, the next one. This is the latest, yeah, the technological pedagogical content knowledge. TPACK. Okay, in technological pedagogical content knowledge, it requires three core types of knowledge. Yeah, the first one is content knowledge. Content knowledge here, the teacher's knowledge of the subject matter that they are teaching, especially in example, math, science, language, art, or English in the case of English language teaching. The second core is pedagogical knowledge. Pedagogical knowledge is a teacher's understanding of how to teach effectively. It includes knowledge of teaching strategies, classroom management, assessment techniques, and how students learn. The last one is technological knowledge. Technological knowledge is the teacher's knowledge of various technologies that can be used to enhance teaching and learning. It includes knowledge of digital tools, online resources, educational software, and how to use technology to support learning. Okay, next, please. Genre-based approach. Sorry, it comes the last year, padahal it's earlier. Genre-based approach is an institutional method used in English language teaching to develop students' skill in writing and understanding various text types or genres. The steps usually, the first one, building knowledge of field, modeling of text, joint construction of the text, and then independent construction of the text. That's the delivery in English language teaching. And then now let's continue with the assessment. Assessment is the integral part of the educational process, helping teachers gauge students' progress and proficiency in the language. Okay, there are many kinds of assessment. The first one is competency-based assessment, which we see the competency of the students either in the listening test, speaking, reading, or writing test. It can be this model or the example. This can be in this slide. And then the next one, holistic assessment. Holistic assessment means that English assessment is not only focusing on the last mark, yeah, gitu ya, but it depends on also on the process of the teaching learning of English. So we have two kinds of holistic assessment here, the formative test and the summative test. Okay, next, please. Formative assessment, when we want to measure the process of the teaching and learning, we have two things to do. The first one, in class activities and observation. We can see the group discussion, quizzes, participation in English club as formative assessment, while the second form is peer and self-assessment. The teachers encourage students to assess their own work or that of their peers. These two can be used to teach, to assess the formative or the process of learning. Okay, next. We have also the national examination here. The first one is Ujian Nasional or UN, which we did it simultaneously in Indonesia. This exam assess students' reading comprehension and grammar skill. However, UN, Ujian Nasional, has been phased out and replaced by Assessment Competency Minimum atau AKM di sekolah. And then the second national examination can be the form of school level examination in both primary and secondary school. English as a part of the school level exam. Okay, the last one, national language proficiency standard. English is tested at different grade level to ensure that students meet certain national standard of proficiency. The focus is primarily on reading, writing, and listening, while speaking often under assessed informal examination. Okay, next. Project-based and task-based assessment. Project-based and task-based assessment, there are two kinds of tests. The first one is group project. Students are assessed through group project where they use English to conduct research, collaborate with peers, and present their finding. This project integrate skills like reading, writing, speaking, and critical thinking. Task-based assessment is used to see how well the students perform tasks that mimic real-world situation. Okay, next, please. We have diagnostic and placement test. What we know about placement test is used to place student in appropriate language level or track, and the diagnostic is to see, to identify the student's strengths and weaknesses in specific language areas. Okay, the next one is the international standardized test. I don't know about this. We have Cambridge English exam, where some private and international school in Indonesia offer Cambridge English assessments such as key English test, preliminary English test, and first certificate in English. This exam assess students on reading, writing, speaking, and listening skill and are internationally recognized. The second one is TOEFL, test of English as a foreign language. And IELTS, yeah. These texts focus on all four language skill and are highly respected internationally, yeah. Okay, the last one is recent trend and innovation in assessment. The recent trend and innovation in assessment, we have the first one is digital and online assessment, which allow for more flexible interactive testing formats such as online quizzes, digital presentation, and multimedia-based tasks. The second one is formative continuous assessment to assess the process, of course. There is a growing recognition of the importance of formative assessment, yang ongoing, low stakes evaluation that helps check students' progress. This is what we call as, we need to know their progress. We use the formative continuous assessment and to adjust teaching methods accordingly, whether it is already suitable or not in the process, in the ongoing process. Okay. I think that's all, ma'am. And then we will continue with teacher professionalism with Ma'am Lasmi.
Okay, thank you very much. We have listened the explanation from Ma'am Aziza for government policy and how it relates with the delivery and assessment in improve the language of English. Well, when it comes to professionalizing your English language teaching, this is the key insight. After the teachers knowing a lot with the curriculum, with the assessment and how it delivered to our students and also to the society, now how the teachers improve their skill. Okay, well, Defining teachers' professionalism. So this is the concept how we define the professionalism itself. Okay, we have 4 criteria here: knowledge and skills. Knowledge and skill regarding to the English language proficiency, methodologies, content knowledge, and updated relevant research and best practice. And the next is professional conduct. It relates with ethical standard, integrity of the profession, and also maintaining professional boundaries. The next is about commitment to growth. So how the teachers here commit to the growth of their proficiency. So it covers with CPD, continuing professional development, finding, seeking feedback, and reflecting on practice to identify areas. So it expands knowledge and skills. And the next is collaborative and community. So it will relate with the building relationship between the colleagues, sharing best practice, and collaborating on the project. Next, talking about, wait a minute, collaborative practice and peer learning. Here we have 3. The first is observation and feedback. So here teacher observe each other lesson, providing constructive feedback and insight into different teaching approaches. The example of this kind of collaborative practice, it comes to the lesson study. So in lesson study here, the teachers plan, teach, and analyze a lesson together, allows for sharp understanding and refinement of pedagogical practices. So in lesson study, there will be a teacher, observe the other teachers while they are doing teaching in the class. And later at the end, after they have explained to the students, after the class, they have to discuss about the improvement and also how deal with the, the techniques or strategies to find a better practice then. Next, it's about professional learning communities, or we call it SPLCs. So joining and creating a PLC provide a structured forum for the teachers to share ideas, support each other, and engage in ongoing professional development. Okay, the next, talking about CPD. Okay, how is CPD practices in Indonesia? Not only Indonesia, but also in the world, the teachers should have this kind of criteria to improve their teacher professionalism. The first is attending to workshop and conferences. Yeah. Here, the teachers trying to stay current with the research, pedagogical trends, and also new technologies. The next is mentorship and coaching. Receiving guidance and support from the experienced educators. Wait a minute, I got running out of the time here. Okay, talking about mentorship and coaching here. So the teachers receive guidance and support from the experienced educators to enhance teaching practices. And the next is about online courses and resources. Here, assessing a vast array of online learning material and professional development programs. Next, the challenges and obstacles to professional growth. Sometimes the teachers find difficulties in time constraint here. They face heavy workloads and limited time for professional development. They have many things related with their administration, so they don't think more about the professionalism. Then next, about lack of resources. It access to professional development opportunities, resources, and funding that can be limited. Next is limited collaboration. It relates with the opportunities for collaboration and peer learning may be insufficient. And the next is fear of change. So it resists change or feel apprehensive about implementing new teaching strategies. So sometimes the senior teacher here will be afraid to learn or perhaps practice the new technologies. They are afraid to do it. They are afraid to apply it. Yeah, but this actually they need it. Yeah, for the latest or upgraded strategies for their students. Next, the impact of professionalism on students' outcome. Of course, it will increase students' engagement, improve academic performance, it enhances language proficiency, and the last is having a positive learning environment. And now, how integrate technology for enhanced professionalism? Of course, the teacher here can improve their professionalism by having interactive learning tools, online collaboration and communication, and the last, professional development resources. And now, how it happens in Indonesia. Teacher professionalism in Indonesia, we have PKB, pengembangan keprofesian berkelanjutan. Yeah, and here we have two items. The first is KKG, kelompok kerja guru, and the next is MGMP, musyawarah guru mata pelajaran. And the next is we have PPG, Teacher Professional Education Program, from Permendikbud Dikti number 55 2017. It is about standard pendidikan guru. The teacher should have four competencies. The first is pedagogical, personality, social, and professional. And the last is pembatik. Pembatik here is pembelajaran berbasis TIK, ICT-based learning. So in this pembatik, we have four levels. It is about literacy, implementation, creation, and sharing collaboration. Okay, talking about PPG here, we have PPG Prajabatan, or we call it as Pre-Teacher Professional Education. And the next, we have PPG Dalam Jabatan, Teacher Professional Education in Position. But the latest law here, Permendikbud Dikti number 19, 2024 here about pendidikan profesi guru, PPG Prajabatan changed to PPG Calon Guru. And for PPG dalam jabatan, it's changed to PPG guru tertentu. So here, talking about PPG Prajabatan here is the students from undergraduate, after they graduate from the college, they can apply for this teacher professionalism. But the teacher who has been positioned as a teacher in a school and having kind of a certificate after they get professionalism, getting workshop, getting webinar, seminar, they can collect all those kind of certificate, and then later they register to have PPG dalam jabatan after certain teachings experience, yeah, teaching experience here. So here in PPG guru tertentu here, we have guru penggerak or guru PKB with no certificate or teacher registered to Dapodik here. Yeah, so we can have any kind of teachers that relate with PPG guru tertentu, specific teachers, yeah, to join teacher professional education. Well,
5 minutes, ma'am.
yes. Okay, now how it relates to the dissertation. If we relate to my dissertation, the title is The Impact of Teacher Questioning on Critical Thinking and Speaking Proficiency in Communicative Language Teaching. And the curriculum, we have to see how is the curriculum used in FLDP, Foreign Language Development Program. Is it influenced by the top-down policy in the campus? And talking about the material itself, is there any book or model used by the students for this FLDP? How does it look like? What kind of skill developed in the book? And the last, what kind of activities to improve students' speaking skill in the model? Next, for the delivery here, if we can see the Crandall, it brings the concept of communicative language learning. Do the teachers practice CLT, or what kind of questioning strategies to stimulate students' critical thinking and promote students' speaking skill? And the last, talking about the assessment, what kind of assessment do the teachers implement CLT? And teacher, talking about teacher professionalism here, is there any chance for the teacher or tutor to improve their teaching skill, especially in CLT, to promote students' critical thinking? And the last is how the campus here provide training program for the tutors regarding to CLT. Okay, the next is for Bu Aziza. Regarding
Okay, thank you. Yes, we talk about my proposed topic that is in curriculum that it content relevance that integrating local wisdom can make the curriculum more relevant to learners' experiences and increase their engagement. And cultural sensitivity, incorporating local wisdom can promote cultural understanding and respect, which is often a goal of government language policies. Next, ma'am. And materials and delivery authenticity using local wisdom in materials can provide authentic language cultural context, making learning more meaningful. Cultural sensitivity material that integrate local wisdom can foster cultural awareness and respect. For the delivery that the teacher trainings, teacher trainings, teacher may need specific training to effectively integrate local wisdom into task-based language teachings. Classroom practices, the implementation of task-based language teaching with local wisdom require specific classroom practices and strategies. Next, the last is assessment and teacher professionalism. Alignment with curriculum. Assessment should measure learners' ability to use local wisdom in their writing, aligning with the curriculum's focus and authenticity. Authentic assessment tasks that incorporate local wisdom can provide a more accurate measure of learners' writing competence. And about professionalism, is it teacher trainings? Teachers may need specific training to effectively integrate local wisdom into task-based language teachings, and support system. School and districts may need to provide support system to help teachers implement this approach effectively. Okay, thank you.
Okay. The last, Bu Sri, ya?
Okay.
Yeah.
For my topic is teaching English for Islamic education institution. In curriculum, how is the policy on the Islamic institution about English language teaching? That what I need to know after I listen to Bu Aziza. And then the material development, identifying text use in teaching English in Islamic institution, considering level of cognitive, purpose of study, background knowledge, culture, motivation, where we know that in Islamic education institution it's so various. Okay, next, ma'am. The second about the delivery, I need to know, do the teachers already know the concept of communicative language itself and to deliver it? Do the activities require large classes and everything that deals with communicative language learning? And then in assessment, I need to know that do the Islamic institution teachers use the correct assessment or not? Okay, the last one is in teacher professionalism, and this is so crucial because it deals with the Islamic education institution itself. The first one, how often the teacher in Islamic education got their chance to get training to refresh their knowledge on teaching while they don't have any. The second one is the material and the assessment the teacher do made by themselves, and how the headmasters believe on teachers development program. That's what this topic give me insight.
Okay, thank you very much. We have done for this topic. Thank you, Bu Aziza and Ibu Sri Nur.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Ma'am Lasmi